Veve has already said they've partnered with 3 different companies that are going to help with the Ecomi token itself, and the one that's been announced is Epiko Regal, mobile app sort of like Clash Royale. So what does this actually mean for Ecomi as a company? Is this going to be good for the Veve users themselves, the Ecomi token holders, both, or how is it actually going to benefit us in a way moving forward? Let's talk about that. Welcome in everyone, my name is Andy and I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come watch this video on the channel. Just before we get going, if you do enjoy the content, you want to support me further, you can hit that subscribe button, and if you want to support me further than that, you can join the membership. Over the last few days, we've got quite a lot of new things that are happening within Veve Ecomi. There's been updates, the web app's been coming out, actually really quick and sharp fixes that have been made to the Veve app themselves when some things have went wrong. And we've also got the announcement that Epiko Regal mobile gaming app is actually going to be sort of in partnership with Ecomi and with Ecomi as a company, and it's going to be utilizing the Ecomi token itself within its own app. The important part of what we're obviously going to talk about a little bit further today, but within the app itself is an added bonus for Ecomi token holders. 10% of all Ecomi collected on the Epiko Regal marketplace will also be returned to the Ecomi reserve wallet each quarter to be burnt by the sale of Veve digital collectible NFTs. This is sort of going to be our main focus today, because I think this is an important aspect to pay attention to. Something not everyone believed maybe could happen, but now is going to come into fruition over the next coming years, and how much of an impact this could maybe make. Plus, there's definitely the guy to make this video on the Excel spreadsheets and understanding all the actual circulating supply, the reserve wallet, how this could truly make an impact on it. For me, I'm going to go more on a general basis. I'm just going to talk a little bit about maybe what this could do for the user base, what this could do for the price of Ecomi over the next couple of years, and how this can maybe play an impact on bringing new users into Veve itself. One of the things that I am really excited about is the fact that these companies are integrating Ecomi into their marketplace. Now, I know David Yu has obviously teased a little bit about what they want the token to be, same as Reese. They've talked about this quite profusely on how they want this to be a real sort of pinnacle at the top of the tokens, just in general of what they're used for. And gaming is going to be a big part of this sort of new space that we're coming into. There's going to be a lot more companies coming out in this sort of area using cryptocurrency as a whole within their marketplace, and Epiko Regal are no different. Now, what I'm sort of seeing this as is a sort of push towards what maybe ApeCoin and Yuga Labs are doing with their ApeCoin, where they want other people to use the ApeCoin in their sort of marketplace, help that circulation overall, to help the overall token, and to help push it forward. I think this is what Ecomi have aimed for and are now proving to be the case. Now, the other 2 games have not been announced as of yet. I believe Fishes by Brock McBlockchain is going to be one of them that will use that. He's already confirmed that. I've got one myself, and we don't actually know the other game. However, this added bonus to burning more from the circulating supply, burning more from the reserve wallet as we continue to move forward, is going to play a part. If you don't know and you're not in the Ecomi token, you're just in the sort of Veve user base, you're in the sort of app. What Ecomi is as a whole is a deflationary token, meaning that there are a certain number of tokens at the start and they can be burned and lower the number of total supply that can be there. So tokens can be burned out of the supply and therefore never to return into the circulating supply, therefore can help the price of the token go up because there are less there, but demand still stays high. Of course, that is on the basis that demand stays at a certain level, that people are actually buying into it and increasing the price and the company moves forward. But just as a sort of overview, I hope that can clear up sort of what deflationary can mean when it comes to a token and how this can help. Maybe starting to connect the dots as to why this might be a good thing then. Because if games are implementing the Ecomi token into their marketplace and are then producing burns with the Ecomi token itself, if you have 5, 6, 7 games that are using all of this with a decent user base that are continuing to grow, and they are implementing this cryptocurrency within it, the amount of burns that can happen year in, year out can start to increase, and therefore can start to burn more, and therefore can help the price of the Ecomi token. So is this going to be the be all and end all of Ecomi utility? This is the thing that will take the Ecomi token to the dollar? No. I don't often talk about the Ecomi token here. I don't often talk about a lot of tokens on this YouTube channel because at the end of the day, guessing where a token will go and estimating prices is extremely difficult to do, and most people can't do it, especially me. I am not someone who can study these marketplaces and understand exactly what this token will do because I'm just not a technical analyst. I don't know how to do that properly, and I wouldn't be able to give you a true estimate of what is going on. But I do understand that having a deflationary token and other games actually using that to help burn it can be a good thing, especially if used in the right manner. It doesn't seem that Ecomi as a company are sort of rushing into trying to get every single game implemented into this. They're handpicking things that are going to work for them and their community over the long run. What about Veve users then? What about Veve as an app? How can this actually help it as a whole? Well, for me, the way I'm seeing it is that this can be a sort of initial insight to what Veve is in general. If you have someone who's in epiko regal, they see those things where there's going to be rewards given out to those at the top, including things like Omi, and then Omi's a part of that. That maybe pushes someone towards to go and see what actually Omi is, Veve as a collectible app is, what Ecomi as a company is, and so much more. It gives them a little bit more of a push to see what exactly this company is doing and what they're offering. And if you're going to that and seeing that they've got all the biggest brands in the world, then you're kind of going to be swayed of like, maybe I should give this a go, maybe I should try this. So one of the things that I'm really excited to see is that if we're able to implement the Omi token and Veve as a whole, just in collectibles in general, into some of these gaming apps, then that could allow more people and more users to come into this space and start collecting themselves. This is why I want Veve and Ecomi to hopefully push forward with a way to implement the Veve collectibles into these games. We've obviously talked before about the Marvel Mighties being gamified into a Marvel app that they've been creating, and we've yet to see anything sort of pushed towards that the last few months. We've kind of guessed that this could be the case, we just don't have a clue if it's ever going to be a reality. But for me, having games that are solely on the basis of helping the burn of Omi are fantastic. It probably doesn't bring people into the Veve app themselves and then into the sort of community of what Veve is as a whole, rather than just the cryptocurrency side of things. But I just feel that the Veve app is way more exciting than just the cryptocurrency side, and that's where you'd probably want people to come to become loyal fans, to become people who enjoy the app, to become someone who becomes a free marketer for Veve themselves. So how you do this is to implement things within Veve that can be used within these apps and sort of are reversible from those sorts of things. So if you're in the app and you can see that you can only play this game, or you can only play this game mode by having certain aspects in Veve, then you would go and check out what Veve is, and then you would come back, and then, you know, there's a lot of interchangeable things that could happen within that, especially including the Omi token with the burns could help tenfold with just bringing people into what this app is. Let's take an example then. Marvel were to create an app where you could use the Marvel Mighties that you've purchased in this app in a sort of 3v3 game where you would battle each other, and whoever obviously comes out top wins, can improve their city, their home, all that sort of stuff. Just the usual stuff you get in mobile games and that sort of area anyway. If you were to do that, you don't have to have the things in Veve in order to play this game, but if you do have the things in Veve, you can get upgrades, get special rewards, you can play in special tournaments, and then things like Omi could actually be used within that to help with the burn. There's marketplaces that are including it and have that sort of thing adapted as well, and this can then get people enticed into what Veve is as a company, to what Omi the token is as a whole, and then just to become a fan of what Veve are doing. This is the way I personally see it. This is the way I want to see it happen, because I think that's the best way to interchange them both. If you are just adding games in for the sake of adding games to try to burn more over the long run, you have to make sure that the games you're partnering with are ones that fans are going to get involved in and then continue to play over a long period of time. Things like Clash Royale and Clash of Clans are there because they're so addicting games, and epiko regal is sort of like that, and they are growing their user base as of now. Not got exact numbers on downloads. I'm hoping I can get that information at some point in the near future, or maybe they talk a little bit more about it over the long run as they see more users coming into this space. But it will be interesting to see how this actually plays a part and how much of a part this plays in the burn of the Omi token when they are sending those tokens every quarter. This is a great start, however. We've talked about Omi utility for a while, that the Omi token wasn't really doing anything, that the Omi token itself didn't really have much benefit to holding it other than that you believed in the company over the long run. And this is a first insight to what the Omi token utility could actually be, and with the implementation of MCP, OUP, and all the other things that Veve are going to try to do as a company to actually push their token and their company forward in general, it's great to see a start anyway. We've all been here for long enough to know now that this is a long-term play and not a short-term play. It hit its all-time highs, I think, 2 years ago or so, and we're all the way back down to the 0.0002 mark or something along those lines anyway, coming close to the 0.0019 mark again. This was the prices that we saw this time last year, and people were expecting to hit 1 and 2 cents by the time at the end of this year. To be honest, we didn't really have any catalyst that could actually bring it to that point, and it was Veve as a whole that was actually pushing it there rather than any utility that the Omi token itself was creating. So if we're talking on the long-term basis here, when we're thinking about 5, 6, 7 years from now, these are the things that are going to help this token overall gain traction, help the token lower in its overall circulating supply, and in general, help the people who actually own the Omi token itself. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the sort of added gamification to what Veve and Ecomi are trying to do with their overall token. Do you like it? Is it something you're really excited for? Or do you want a bigger, heavy hitter that's going to help that circulating supply and reserve wallet lower significantly? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. I know the video on the screen right now will be something you'll love to watch. Have a fantastic day.